Hey, the Big Olof here, going to do something a little different for you guys today. It's book report day. We're going to do our book report on Glock, The Rise of the American Gun by Paul M. Barrett. Paul's actually a writer for Newsweek and Bloomberg, so this book really has a heavy business overtone. I think that's what I liked about it. It wasn't really a Kool-Aid drinking book. Not everything about the gun was great, but it does have a great history. It tells a lot about the business and how they've run things over the years. If you don't want me to spoil anything in the book, go ahead and stop watching now. I don't need everybody to complain about, oh, I ruined the book for him or what have you. There's enough things to complain about on the internet besides me. So, kind of rolling off, right out of the gate, the book talks about how Glock originally won the contract to produce the Glock 17 for the Austrian army. Prior to winning that contract, Glock actually made the standard duty carry knives for the Austrian army. So he had a background in dealing with them. The knives were built with injected molded handles, so he had a little plastics background. Other than that, he made doorknobs and curtain rods from what the book says. So the building of the Glock 17 was really a big jump. He went in and bid on this project and ended up building the original prototypes for the Glock 17 within a couple of months. He went out into the industry and found some guys that knew a lot about guns and his own engineering abilities and produced the Glock 17. As everyone knows, this gun pretty much blew the competition out of the water. The big boys at the time, Sig Sauer, one of them. The Glock 17 had half as many parts, held 5 more rounds, was light. There was some debate whether the polymer would last. Well, obviously that's been long put to rest. Well, once this had happened, the Glock 17 really started to explode onto the scene. Another Austrian visiting Austria from the States saw the Glock 17 and convinced them to start importing the Glocks to Samaria, Georgia, which they're still at today. Originally, they needed about 9,000 units to be sold within the first year in order to break even, and they were able to do this at their first gun show in Colorado. Within a day, they took an order for 30,000 units, and they were off and running. Production had to increase and to meet all these needs. Well, after this, it was like gangbusters. They proceeded to take over the market through innovative trade-in programs with police departments where they'd pay very little out-of-pocket dollars. They continued to run their business just in a way that just dominated long-time arms makers like Smith & Wesson. They proceeded to just get stomped by Glock. So it tells a really interesting business end of how they started working here in the States. It also shares things about how Glock's personal life has really kind of wheeled it out of control, how he has constant distrust for his longtime employees. There's a lot of interesting stuff in how Glock has been able to parlay moves, both political and economic. They haven't always gotten along great with, the NRA, for instance, and rocked the boat there several times, but it seems to have always worked out in their favor. Another interesting story about this, or about Glock himself, is how one of his top executives actually put a hit out on his life and hired an ex-French legionnaire or foreign legion member to murder him. Well, Glock wasn't carrying that day, but I guess the old man still had it in him and was able to pummel this dude and get away. And due to that, there was a big falling out between Glock and a lot of his top executives. There was lots of issues with his family. He's pretty much alienated his family. He divorced his wife and married his horse trainer and all these crazy stories. So it's really an interesting look at not only the invention of something that changed an industry, but also how that invention changed a person over the years, changed the way the gun industry operates and works. and is a pretty darn good book overall. You're not going to typically see me do a lot of book reports, but I got reading this one, and for a box of ammo, you can pick this book up, knock it out in about a day and a half, and learn quite a bit about the gun and the gun maker, the manufacturer, and a lot about the industry. So I'd recommend this to people that are into firearms, people that are in the business, and obviously all the Glock owners. I'm sure if you're really drinking the Glock Kool-Aid, you already own this book, but definitely a good read. So I'll try to review some more guns and actual fun stuff, and we'll stop with this book report nonsense. But go ahead, like my videos, check out my other reviews online, and if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them below. That's the Big Olof reviewing Glock, the rise of America's gun.